I am Melissa Parker, and I'm actually a watershed conservation coordinator for Parks and Wildlife. But I wear many hats, and one of those is that I'm a member of our interdivisional paddling trails team at Parks and Wildlife. And when we created the Paddling Trails program, we had our fundamental goal that we wanted to do with this program was basically to get people out on the water, figuring that if we can get them out, get them to enjoy this as a recreational opportunity, they would grow to learn and love the resource, develop an appreciation for it, and then that we hope will transfer into a conservation ethic in the long run. The first trail that we opened was so successful, we had people calling from all over the state asking, hey, we want one of those, we want one of those, and we were inland fisheries people going, we need some help here. And so we called in our nature tourism manager, and she was delighted to help us grow this program. And the goals of the Paddling Trail program fit very well under that nature tourism umbrella. And its main goals are basically to promote habitat conservation, promote sustainable economic development, build broad-based public support for wildlife conservation, and finally, just to provide additional recreational opportunities to the public. As y'all have heard, it's kind of been a common theme already this morning. Access to recreate on rivers is very limited in Texas, and the more we work with our community partners and things like that, we can build access. And as we're building access, what we really want to do is kind of structure it in a way to where we teach people how to use these resources wisely. And so we developed paddling trails across the state. As we're developing them, we don't go out and look for areas to create paddling trails. We actually wait and let the community partners come to us. And we partner with a whole bunch of different types of entities as our partners. We've worked with chambers of commerce, TxDOT, river authorities, local liveries even have sponsored a put-in or a takeout site, that kind of thing. So we work with people all across the state, but we want it to be grassroots, have the community be interested in having a trail, and that way they've got buy-in and some ownership in keeping it a neat place for people to go. And what we do with these communities is we work with them to help develop written information for their trails, and we help promote it. And we have a wonderful conservation communications branch at Parks and Wildlife, and I'll pass these around in a little bit, but they create just some great promotional materials that a lot of communities wouldn't be able to get the word out as well if we didn't have it housed under our Parks and Wildlife website. And so one of our main ways of promoting trails is through our website, and you can get to it just from going, type in TPWD and type paddling, and you can get to our website. And when you get there, you can either choose inland trails or coastal trails. And if you choose, for example, like an inland trail, each trail has its own set of information that lets you know everything about that trail. And most importantly, as the population of Texas is growing and people are trying to get out onto rivers, but they don't maybe know exactly how to organize a trip properly. We've had some crazy instances. What we like to do is go ahead and we have a map for it. We show people where you put in, where you take out, how long that trail is in terms of miles, how long you can expect to be on the water. For example, like a 6-mile trail, maybe you'll be on the water 2 to 4 hours. And so we can go through and we can put all this information on the website. And on the web, we have a whole lot of room for the local community to provide us information that they would like to see about their community put out there. And so we've got plenty of room on this. When we go to developing the kiosks, which I'll show you in a minute, for the access sites, we have to be a little bit more limited, but we like the community to highlight what they think is important about their community on this. We also have the trail description and landmarks. Do you have plenty of riffles? Is it very slow moving? We kind of try to let people know what to expect when they get out on the trail. We also have safety, ethics, and conservation message, and this has really been the first time we've been able to educate up front for folks. So we like to get this message out in as many ways as we can, and so we put it on the web, and we also put it on our kiosks, and we put it on the other information that we distribute. Particularly when it comes to private landowners, respecting private property, that the banks aren't necessarily publicly owned, they're privately owned in most cases, that kind of thing. And so we're able to get all that information out. We also do magazine advertising. We have our Parks and Wildlife magazine, And then we create these rack cards that we give to our partners, our community partners. We put them in state parks, put them in TxDOT offices, that kind of thing. And I'll put these on the back table for y'all. It's nice because it gives you a way to get to our website, but then it also explains how to navigate through that website. And we even have a tidbit of information on there. You know, we talk about wanting to educate people. I had the instance one summer of getting to stay in a condo on the Guadalupe River because our house was being renovated, and this guy came running by. If I stay on this, do I end up at that park where I started? Oh no. You know, he thought he was at Schlitterbahns, a lazy river. People just don't know. You know, it's no, man, you're going to be in the Gulf. Go back, you know. But anyway, so we have that basic of information to teach people. And what we do with communities beyond promotion is we go out and we'll meet with the community if they just want to kind of visit with us, talk to us about it. But then we'll come back and we'll do a river survey. We map it. We provide the information about the wildlife, ecology, what the river looks like, that kind of thing. So we come and we do these river site visits. We help with the kiosk design specifications. We do require that the put-in and the takeout have a kiosk. And again, that's just to make sure that we get this information out there. We participate in any public meetings that are organized by the community partners. In some cases, we have communities that maybe there's some concern from perhaps the landowners that live along the river or others in the community about having a paddling trail. And so if they want to have a meeting on it, we're happy to come and answer questions and work through that process with them. And then we also provide the official road signs for paddling trails. And those are the great big signs. And if you've seen the coastal birding signs, they're as big as that, and they've got a little paddler on them. And we put those before and after each access site so that people can know when they're getting close. We do have some criteria for creating a paddling trail. We like to see them between 4 and 12 miles in length. We can flex either way on either end of that, but we're really trying to keep it to a day trip for folks. We want them to be able to put in and take out safely in a day rather than getting caught out in the evening where they have nowhere to go or have to get up onto private land and ask for help, that kind of thing. We like to keep it short day trips. We also, and Richard touched on this, we need parking, public access and parking for the public that's going to be using that so that they can park in a safe manner. And then we also like to see natural or historical attractions, obviously around here with the beautiful riparian corridors. You've got it all set. Adequate water quality, depth, or river flows, that's just self-explanatory. And then we like to have a population center nearby. Again, that's the idea of getting people out, letting them know that they can recreate and get back in a day. We have 2 types of kiosks. I mentioned that we have the community partners put in a kiosk at the put in and the takeout. And so we have designs for a metal, here's our metal one, and then we have a wooden one. And communities can choose what they want, or in a lot of cases, some communities have a certain look or design or feel to their community kiosks or parks that they've already done, and we'll work with them on that. All we ask is that because we provide the insert that goes inside those kiosks, we have a certain template. So we just ask that the dimensions fit our template, but we can definitely work with communities. The way our kiosk inserts work, our interpretive panels, is the blue box is always going to be the information about that particular trail. It's going to have how long it is, how long you can expect to be on the water, what does the trail look like, what are its river conditions, some information from the local community about other things to do in the area, wildlife and ecology, and of course we really like to highlight the fishing as well. If you want to fish while you're out paddling, here's the type of fish you can expect to catch, here's the type of line and lures you can use, you know, that kind of thing. And then on the right side over here, this is always on every panel, and it's just got the safety information, conservation information, and again about respecting private property. It's really been the first time we've been able to educate people right up front before they get on the water how to behave while on it. And you would be surprised how many people don't think to take water with them when they're out paddling. Well, it's hot and they need it. So we're able to put all the safety information about take your water, take your sunscreen, file a float plan, let somebody know where you're going, when you're expected to be back, that kind of thing. Of course, conservation information, and then with private property, we really stress keeping the noise level down, respecting the private property, don't go crawling up on the banks. Here's what trespassing signs look like, that kind of thing. And then from our communities, what we ask of the community is that They provide us a summary of important local information for use in those promotional materials I showed you. And basically, we ask the community to give that to us because we don't want to assume what's important to that community. We want to hear from them what's important to them and what do they want to summarize. We ask that the community maintain the put-ins and the takeout locations, keep them clean, keep trash picked up, graffiti cleared, that kind of thing. Provide a list of local liveries for the website, and that's kind of a dynamic thing. As liveries are come and go, we can put them up on the website and take them down as needed, but the community is going to be our eyes and ears. They know who is in business and who isn't. We ask the community to construct and maintain the informational kiosks, and then we ask the community to draft and distribute a press release promoting the trail. And we have some great writers on staff, but we can help with that. But again, that's just, we want to hear what the community wants to highlight about their trail, what's special about that trail to the community. And then if needed, we ask that the community organize a public meeting to discuss the trail and address any comments, questions to the local community. And of course, we would be present at those meetings and help. And we did a trail recently out in Junction, and they were starting to have a problem because the Frio and the Sabinal had basically dried up, and so people were going further west where they actually had a little bit of rain and they had some water on the South Llano. But it just got crazy fast. People were putting in and crawling up on landowners' banks. I'm lost, where am I? That kind of thing. And so they were afraid that maybe by having a paddling trail, it would make more people come. I kept getting invited out because I was involved with another project in the community. And after talking with the landowners, they ended up deciding that maybe going ahead and creating the structured access and educating people might work out better for them. And so we went ahead and we did get a trail in, and they haven't had any trouble. So that was 5 meetings going out and just meeting with landowners and meeting with the community and the county commissioners and that kind of thing. But we want the communities to be comfortable. We never want to push program onto anyone. Without the communities, there are eyes and ears and boots on the ground. We can't do it without them. We do have a section too on our website for accepting nominations for future trails, and it basically just goes through and it spells out, here's what Parks and Wildlife will do for you, here's what we want the community to do, everything we just talked about. But then it's got an application that folks can fill out and they can send it in online or they can mail it in, and it's got Shelley as the contact point, and she is our nature tourism manager that I mentioned. Once that's submitted, then we kind of have a process. We've got really a backlog right now in trails because we had such serious drought across the state that we weren't able to get out into some of the locations and actually paddle them when the applications were submitted. And then once we would get them set up, we'd get a big flood. And so we're still working a little bit on that backlog, but we're catching up. We have a meeting on Thursday, and we'll be planning our next round of surveys. We're slowly catching up, but right now it's going to take us about a year to a year and a half to actually get a trail established, just keeping up with the workload. And then once we review the application, Shelley will send out just an acceptance letter. Hey, we've got it, we like your application, we'll be working with you. And then we go and we meet in person with the community and we discuss, here's the order of events, this is what happens, set up a partnership agreement basically, which is just a real loose document going through, hey, we'll do this for you guys, you'll keep up with the access sites, that kind of thing. And then we schedule our survey and go from there. We do have some trails in East Texas right now, and I don't know how many of y'all may have seen it, or I know Cliff has, the Natchez Davy Crockett paddling trail right here near Lufkin, and it's about a 9.2, I think, mile trail. Takes between 3 and 6 hours, just depending on if you're fishing or what the river level's like. And it's a beautiful trail. And then we have Martin Dies Jr. State Park paddling trails. There's like 3 loops at the park, so you can go anywhere from 4 to 16 miles there. Or you can put in at the Bevelport ramp and go down. The Angelina and the Natchez actually converge, the forks. And you can go down. That's a beautiful paddle and take out at Martin Dies as well. We just opened up 10 new trails on Caddo Lake and Big Cypress Bayou. Yeah, it added a tremendous amount of paddling up there. Caddo Lake is just so hard for people to get out and paddle on because it's easy to get lost. And so there's a marker system. It's pretty neat trails up there. And then we have received paddling trail application for the Angelina River off of 59, and so we'll be working on that. It's still in the to be reviewed folder, so stay tuned. But we've got that one coming. And then I just wanted to leave you guys with, here's our main paddling trail website. We don't have any funding really for paddling trails, but sometimes our recreational grants program funding from that fits well with designing or enhancing access sites. We've got the Recreation Grants Program, and there's their web address. And then I just wanted to leave y'all with, this is Shelley Plant, is that nature tourism manager I was telling you about. She's who the applications are sent to, or you can send them to me as well. I mean, we talk almost daily.